You know, over the past 5 or 10 years, literally hundreds of thousands of people have bought 35mm single-lens reflex cameras just like this one. Well, it's also a fact that many of the same people who bought those cameras are still using them with the standard lenses on them that came with the cameras. Well, one of the beauties of a camera like this is that you can take the lens off and replace it with a special purpose lens that'll let you take pictures that you never ever dreamed were possible before. And to help you do that on World of Photography, we're going to be talking about all kinds of accessories. Some of them common, some of them not so common, but all of them are going to make photography more interesting and exciting. And since I've already got the lens off the front of my camera, let's talk about an accessory that you might consider making your first accessory, or you might already have it, and that is the telephoto lens. So you've decided to buy a telephoto lens. Which one do you choose? Well, the lens I've got on this OM2 is a pretty good one, 135mm f3.5. Every telephoto lens, and every lens for that matter, is known by those two numbers, the focal length, in this case 135mm, and the aperture, the maximum opening that the lens can handle, f3.5 in this case. So when I tell you that this is 135mm f3.5, I'm giving you some very specific information about what this lens can do for you, and it's quite simple. The focal length of your lens, again in this case 135mm, tells you exactly what your lens is going to see. Now 50mm, the lens that probably came with your camera, is considered normal. Any focal length above that, say 85, 135, or 200mm, is considered a telephoto lens. Now the telephoto lenses typically have a maximum aperture of f2.8, f3.5, and f4. The lower the maximum aperture number, the better the lens's capability to handle low light situations. This 135 f3.5 lens is probably a good telephoto lens for you to think about. You can use it handheld and probably get some pretty good photographs out of it. You can use it largely in the same way that you use your normal lens. You'll remember I had a normal on this camera body a few minutes ago. But Roy, behind me, look at that lens, 350mm f2.8. It's very large, it's very bulky, but that's oftentimes the price you have to pay for a lens that'll get you in extremely close to your subject. Now here's a good rule of thumb. As the focal length number gets higher and higher, his 350 compared to my 135, the lens will get much larger. Same thing applies to the f-stop number. The lower the number, his 2.8 to my 3.5, same thing. The lens gets much, much larger. Roy has to use his lens and camera on a tripod. That's so everything will stay steady as he's taking some of the beautiful pictures that he's doing right now. Now that's probably why a lens like a 135 3.5 is a very good choice for you as a first accessory lens. Roy, a minute ago we were talking about the 135. Do you use telephoto lenses a lot in your profession?
Sure, I use them all the time in my work. Telephoto lenses are a very important tool for shooting wildlife sports or any kind of a shot where you don't want to be right next to it or can't be right next to it. All telephoto lenses have different uses. I have a 180 2.8 on my camera right now. It's a medium length. This replaced my 200. It's a 2.8, which means I can shoot in very low light level situation.
Yeah.
It's just a handy size for me. It's one of my favorite lenses. Of course, I have 300mm, I have 350, I have all the tools that I need to do my job.
Yeah, you know, we were just looking at a very large lens. Now this lens, you don't really need to put it on a tripod. It's a medium size, I guess you could say.
Well, it depends on your light also. If you're shooting in a very low light level situation, you have to put this on a tripod, naturally, if you don't have the light to hand hold it. As you were talking about before, the rule of thumb about if you're shooting a 180mm lens, you should try to be shooting in at least a 200th of a second.
Look at the kind of pictures you usually take. You're the best judge of what kind of a telephoto lens would be the best tool for you, but consider a 135, just like this one. Brings you a lot closer for wildlife, for sports, and for portraits. And the best part is, it doesn't add a lot of weight to your camera.